Welcome to another episode of HalfPint Cooking. Today I have Jane helping me, and we are gonna make 4 different kinds of syrups, maybe 5, I don't know. We just made pancakes. We did a video on pancakes, so click the link right here to learn how to make pancakes, and stay tuned, and we're gonna make French toast and German pancakes, waffles. So our first syrup that we're gonna make is cinnamon syrup. Now this syrup is my favorite on some French toast, and we'll make a video on that coming up soon. Now what you need, I have a bunch of ingredients over here, but we don't need all that much. Okay, we need 1 cup of sugar.
Where's the other?
Now we need a 1/2 cup of corn syrup. I don't really like to use a lot of corn syrup, but I promise this recipe is worth it. Okay, you dump it in. Make sure it goes in the pot. And then we do 1/4 cup of water. We're gonna scrape that out. Okay. And then we're gonna do a teaspoon of cinnamon. Yep. Pour it in. Careful. Okay. You mix it, and we're gonna turn the stove on. Okay, we're gonna mix it all together. Okay, so we've just mixed this all together. We're gonna cook it, and once it starts to boil, we're gonna let it boil for 1 to 2 minutes. We're gonna take it off the heat, or turn the heat off, and then we're gonna let it cool for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna add 1/2 cup of cream. Now remember, I don't like dirtying more dishes, and so we're gonna use the same measuring cup that we did for the corn syrup. Okay, let's set the timer on this one. Remember, for our cinnamon syrup, we're gonna set the timer for 1 to 2 minutes. I'm watching the clock right now, and we're just gonna let it boil for 1 to 2 minutes and then turn it off.
Okay.
We can turn this one off, and we're gonna watch the clock. Our cinnamon syrup has to cool down for 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes for our cinnamon syrup, and so we're just gonna add a 1/2 cup of cream.
Wait, I thought that was milk.
Looks like it, huh? But it's cream, the good stuff. I'm just gonna give it a little stir. So there's our cinnamon syrup. Now this one is called maple syrup, but it's not real maple syrup like the maple that you get from the tree. It's just with imitation maple flavoring, and it's something that I grew up with, and so it's just one that I love and that I want to teach you how to make. So we're gonna get this pan, and we're gonna add 1 cup of granulated sugar. You wanna dump it in? Okay, good. And then we're gonna add 1 cup of brown sugar. So one thing that I have learned about brown sugar is that I really like the C&H brand. I did talk about how there's certain things that I like, the name brand, the more expensive stuff. It smells good, huh? And brown sugar is one of them, because if you look at the ingredients, the ingredient is brown sugar, and it comes from sugar cane. If you buy the cheap stuff, the cheap brown sugar, then it's just regular sugar, and they add molasses to it. So we're gonna measure 1 cup of brown sugar. Now I like this kind because it has a zipper on top too, so you can just seal it. With brown sugar, you wanna pack it down, so it's big enough in here that I can just fill it up, and then I'm packing it down, if you can see. Okay, now you put that in here. Dump. Okay, so 1 cup granulated sugar, 1 cup brown sugar, and 1 cup of water. There we go. Put it all in. I'm gonna turn this one on. So while this is cooking, this is our maple, this is imitation maple flavoring. You can buy this. I just like to buy this because it's a big container, and we go through a lot of syrup at our house, but you can buy the small ones that's Mapleine flavoring, or Mapleine, and it's just a little richer. So you need about a teaspoon of this inside of your sugar and water. Make sure not to get this and all over you, because it gets black and it's sticky and it's just weird. And there's our maple syrup. And now we're gonna get another kid and we're gonna make some caramel syrup, some vanilla syrup, some coconut syrup, and I'm so excited to show you how to do this. Okay, so we have Libby here with me now and we're gonna make a vanilla syrup, but we're gonna take half of it away and we're gonna make coconut syrup out of it. And I'll show you how to do that. So we start out with 1 cup of butter. Will you open those? Or open one and I'll open the other and put it in this big pan. Now you do need a big pan. We've got this size pan right here because it gets big, I promise. When it's all said and done, there's only like this much at the bottom of it, but you do need a big pan and I'll show you why. Okay, so 1 cup of butter, which means 2 cubes of butter. We need 2 cups of sugar.
And put it in here?
Uh-huh. And 1 cup of buttermilk. And I've told you this before with our pancakes, that if you don't have buttermilk, it's okay. Just put 1 cup of milk and then a tablespoon of lemon juice and let it sit for 10 minutes and then you have buttermilk. Today we just bought some buttermilk. It's pretty cheap. And we're just gonna dump it in. Okay. We're gonna turn it on. Let that butter start melting. Yeah, you can stir it. And 2 tablespoons of corn syrup. Okay, our vanilla syrup is boiling and we're gonna let it boil for 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, I think it's been 3 to 5 minutes, so we're gonna turn that one off. So this is just gonna sit and it's gonna go down a little bit and then that syrup is ready. We're gonna add our baking soda. So it's half a tablespoon of baking soda. Dump it in. And then we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of vanilla. Now, a lot of times I like to use a really nice vanilla, but for this syrup, a cheap vanilla is good. And I'm out of my nice vanilla. Okay, so Libby accidentally touched the side of the pan, so when we're by the stove, make sure you have an adult by you to help you do all this because we don't want an accident to happen. She's got her hand under cold water right now, but accidents happen, huh? Okay, and I want you to watch this. As I stir it, it's gonna start to bubble up a little bit. And we're just gonna let that sit. Oh, see, here come the bubbles. So if you were making this vanilla syrup and you just wanted it to be coconut syrup, you didn't want to do the vanilla, I would lessen the vanilla to 1 tablespoon of vanilla and then the coconut extract. But since I didn't want to separate it while it was the bubbling stage, we're just going to add some coconut to the vanilla and that'll be really good. So we're just going to fill up the cap full of the coconut. And we're going to put that in, give it a little stir. Use this one. And we'll see if that tastes good. It might need a little bit of coconut, a little more coconut. Coconutty enough? That's good. We're gonna make our caramel syrup. Now what makes caramel syrup a little more rich and more caramely is that we're gonna add some brown sugar. So we're gonna start with 1 cube of butter, or 1/2 of a cup, and then we're gonna do 1/2 cup of regular sugar. And then we're gonna do 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of buttermilk, and we are gonna let that cook. So really the biggest difference right here is that we have brown sugar in the caramel syrup and we're gonna actually let that one cook a little bit longer and it makes it more caramely. So here's our caramel. You can see that it's a little bit darker. So this needs a teaspoon of baking soda and we're gonna watch it very carefully so it doesn't boil over. If it does, we just have to hurry up and take it off. And then a teaspoon of vanilla. We're gonna stir it, and to give it the more caramel flavor, we're gonna let it cook for 3 to 5 minutes. So we've made 5 different syrups. We made cinnamon, we made maple, we made caramel, vanilla, and coconut syrups. Experiment with these and see which syrup you like the best, whichever one sounds the best to you, and have fun with it. I hope you make some of this stuff and be careful not to burn yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to us. Visit our website at halfpintcooking.com and use the hashtag if you make some of this stuff and take a picture, and we'll feature you in one of our videos. Thanks. Bye. So we need 1 cup. There goes our Shopkins. Syrups that we're... Should we start all over?